Can these Rite in the Rain branded notebooks actually be written on after being rained on? Today I've developed a test for us to find out. My highly scientific test is going to involve dunking this thing like an Oreo in this glass of water and then seeing which of the pens can still write on it. So the name implies that they can write in the rain, but what are they actually claiming? Let's have a look at the inside cover, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next review. So feel free to pause here, guys, but the gist of it is there's certain pens that won't work, some that'll work only when this is dry, and others that should work even after we dunk it in the water. We're going to kick off the dry test with Japan's finest mechanical pencil, which we have done a separate view for, which I'll leave above. Let's give it a crack. Now for a regular ballpoint pen. No worries there. Now for a Fisher Bullet Space Pen. Okay, now the reason I'm testing this is because these Fisher Space Pens can supposedly write through oil, write upside down, and everything like that. So this one should be able to write even after we have wet the notebook. And if you want to see the review for this Bullet Space Pen, I'm leaving that one for you above. No issues with the Space Pen. Okay, now we have a gel pen here, which by memory, gel pens apparently won't work even when dry. So let's give this a shot. Well, what do you reckon? It's definitely rubbing off a bit there, but that's fine. So that's the gel pen. Permanent marker. Okay. A standard highlighter. All right. And last but not least, one that I wanted to throw in, this is a wax highlighter, which I think is pretty cool. Oh, it's definitely smudged the ink there on that gel pen, but again, they said that wouldn't work, so that's fine. Quick rub test here just for the record. So maybe it was the addition of highlighters over the top, but as you can see, just smudging this with my finger has made an incredible difference. So we're going to test this same notebook, guys, and see if there's any effect of the water on what's already been written. So make sure you smash that like button and subscribe, because we're about to start dunking. There is no denying that thing is dripping wet. So let's take a closer look. So first of all, I am curious, does it feel any different? It does feel a bit softer, I'll admit. And let's have a look on the inside. Has the front page that we've written on been affected? Oh, it has. So we've definitely got some running ink there, guys. Check it out. So while the notebook is still wet, I'm going to flip over to the next page and we're going to test all of those same pencils and pens in the exact same order. So to be fair, guys, we're also going to give this a smudge test as well, and pretty well the same results as we can expect from the previous page. Now I don't know about you guys, but all that dunking and testing has made me thirsty. Results and analysis. Look at the back cover, guys. Can you see that distortion caused by the water soaking in through the edge of the back cover here? Now I'm wondering if this is normal, whether it will go away as this dries, and maybe whether this is only intended for light rainfall and not actually to be fully submerged. Having a look on the inside at the results, we have our first page, which was the dry test, which we'll put down there, and then the wet test, which we wrote after dunking it. So let's have a bit of a compare and contrast. If you want to get your hands on one of these Rite in the Rain notebooks, I'm leaving a link for you in the description below. So under the won't work, we did notice that the gel pens and most highlighters did get quite substantially destroyed by the water. However, under the when dry only, you'll note that permanent markers and standard ballpoints should only work while dry. However, as we can see, we have the permanent marker here while it was wet, and also the standard ballpoint, which were not affected whatsoever. Maybe that's a way for them to try and sell their Rite in the Rain pens. Who knows? If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss our next review, and I'll leave you with 2 related videos. We have Japan's best mechanical pencil and the Fisher Bullet Space Pen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next review.